Corpse Party, Book of Shadows is rated M for individuals 17 and up. For intense violence, blood and gore, sexual themes, and strong language. Viewer discretion is advised. There weren't any working lights in the custodian's closet, but it definitely felt a lot safer in here than it did out in this creepy, creaky hallways. Creepy, creaky. The two of us plopped down next to one another on the tatami. For a long while, neither of us said a word. I guess we weren't sure what to talk about. I'm so glad you're okay, Seiko. You too, Naomi. How's the ankle? Still hurt? I feel like it did really badly for a while there, but it's totally fine at the moment. Glad to hear it. Did you manage to make your paper dolls? Find your paper doll scrap? No, it's still missing. Guess I must have dropped it somewhere else, and finding anything in this place is quite a feat. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. But when we get back, we can always ask the class rep to perform the ritual again. Then we can get you a replacement. That's true. Once we'd calmed down a bit, we reached a point where we simply didn't want to leave the room anymore. We had no desire to go back into those halls. So we didn't. We stayed right where we were for a really long time, just chatting endlessly with one another, casual as can be. About class and the festival and our sleepover the previous night, ordinary, everyday conversation. But then I happened to look over and catch Seiko staring at me. Yeah, totally! Seiko, is something wrong? Huh? Oh no, it's nothing. It was too dark to see Seiko's features in any great detail, but something seemed to miss. It was her face. Was she blushing? Naomi? This is hard for me to say, but, well, what is it? She had an uncharacteristically serious expression on her face and seemed really nervous. What was it, Seiko? What were you trying to tell me? Never you mind. Oh, come on, now my curiosity is killing me. Just spit it out already. Promise you won't laugh? If you don't want me to, then I won't. Okay, because I'm totally serious. Oh? My heart skipped a beat. This was the beginning. How could I have been so dense all this time? Since we have no idea what's going to happen to us in here, there's something I really need to tell you. Okay? Seiko's face changed. Her gaze was now directed squarely at my lips. Wait, was this... will you, kiss me? Huh? I want to kiss you. Aww. Why? Because I love you. I think my accent died. As a friend, right? Ugh. Seiko didn't say a word. She just shook her head fervently. I was dumbfounded. Was she confessing to me? I hadn't even had a boy confess to me yet. She hung her head low, staring down at her feet. My silence seemed almost like it was causing her physical pain. She looked like she might explode. I couldn't see her face clearly, but I was certain she must have been quivering and blushing from ear to ear. You're serious? I'd marry you if I could. I want to kiss you and hug you too. That was the first time I'd ever heard Seiko speak so softly. There was such a stammer in her voice. Before I knew it, I was crying. I had no idea why. Seiko, I'm sorry. God damn it. I ran out of the room and just took off down the hall. God. I still couldn't tell why I was crying. It's like I was scared, or maybe I was happy, or maybe I just lost a friend. I needed to calm down. The Seiko I was friends with wasn't gone. She hadn't been lost. Regardless of whether or not I was able to return her feelings, I owed her at least a thank you. Seiko must have been pretty deep in regret by that point. I needed to get back to her. I needed to let her know that I would still stand by her. Oh no. I was suddenly distracted by the sound of dripping water nearby. It was as if someone had left a faucet on, but only just, and it was slowly spilling out onto the floor. But where was it? It sounded close, yet there was no sign of running water anywhere that I could see. I had a bad feeling about this. All I knew was it was close. Like, really close. Wait, no, it couldn't be. I looked down at my feet and I gasped. An unpleasant-looking black fluid was running down my thighs and pooling up on the floor beneath my feet, and it wasn't stopping. What? Ew! What the hell? What is this? Ugh! I hesitantly collected a bit of it on my finger and studied it. It wasn't blood. It was almost tar-like in consistency, smooth and viscous. Yeah. It seemed to be faintly glowing as well. Why was something like this coming out of my body? Ah! I went to wipe my finger on my skirt and shifted in place, only to lose my footing and fall backwards, landing hard on my rear. What the fuck? Ah! I put my hands on the sides of my head, closed my eyes, and screamed. I'd reached my limit. I just wanted all this to be over. But try as I might, shut out the world. The world was determined not to be ignored. It was like heaven and earth were moving all around me. I felt dizzy. It was like my soul and my body were separating, and I was becoming acutely aware of my own mass, and started obsessing over it. I was so heavy. My head in particular, the human cranium, weighs about 5 kilograms, and I could feel every last gram straining my neck muscles. It was hurting my back. What's happening? I'm losing consciousness. Can't open my eyes. All the blood in my body came rushing up to my head. Why was this happening? I could feel the blood vessels in my face pressing against my skin. I could see blood behind my eyelids. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts so much! The blood just kept coming. It wouldn't stop. It felt like as if my blood vessels, my eyes, my whole head could burst at any moment. Somebody, please save me! Seiko! Careful, you're about to fall into the valley of past and future memories. Just as my last vestiges of consciousness were fading, I heard a little girl's voice, but I was in pain. I was weighed down. I couldn't open my eyes. If you wish to save your friend, you'll need to overcome fate itself. What are you saying? Aha! The heaviness in my head grew at an alarming rate, and I heard a tearing sound behind my ears. It was the sound of a major blood vessel breaking wide open. I was certain I was going to die, but then the pain and dizziness simply vanished. I had the sensation of a faint shimmering before my eyes, and I wondered if maybe I could open them now. Slowly and carefully, I relaxed the muscles that were so forcibly and fearfully holding my eyelids shut. What? Where am I? This isn't Heavenly Host. I knew exactly where I was. I'd seen this image a million times before. I'd seen it just this morning with Seiko. This was my house. Huh? Am I really home? Was it all a dream, maybe? I'm gonna have to split this episode up. I'm over 30 minutes. 35 minutes. 37? Mom, I'm home! That's not good. Something wasn't right. My field of vision was low to the ground, and everything around me looked much larger than it should. What was going on? Naomi, guess what? I brought you a cat. Dad? Oh, it's a guy. You've always been so mature, watching the house all by yourself when we're away. Come on, pet it. Isn't she great, Naomi? Mom? Wow, you'll have someone to keep you company. Now you'll have someone to keep you company. Sorry, we're always so late coming home from work, sweetie. It's so nice that we can trust you, though. I am really sorry, but now you won't be lonely anymore, right? Stop this. May would spend half her time indoors and the other half in the backyard as if she were out to pasture or something. It may not have been much land, but this was her territory, and she rarely... What's going on? This is weird. Get outside of it. Once I was so upset that my parents were going to be late coming home from work that I scooped up May and ran away from home for a little while. Kitty! Papa, Mama, I hate you! Stop it! It's because you're here, May. Because you're here. Mama and Papa don't think they have to come home. It's your fault, you know. Oh, God. Naomi, what's wrong? Why are you crying? Where did you and May run off to? I'm sorry, May. I don't want us to be apart. I said a really mean thing to you, May. I'm so sorry. Wow, now, it's alright, Naomi. May will always be there for you. She loves you, you know. She can sense exactly how you feel, and she's very understanding. It wasn't long after that May ran away. I searched for her every day through teary eyes, but in the end, she never came home.
It's such a pity. I guess even cats get strange ideas in their heads from time to time.
That wasn't it. And you two were such good friends, too. I did this. But you'll make a new friend in no time. You just need to put this out of your mind and move on. It's because May was so understanding and kind-hearted that she disappeared from my life. If only I hadn't said what I said to her. Ah, May, come back, please, May. May? You never change, do you? Mom? Mom, where are you? She's not here. Naomi? Ah, Seiko! Seiko, are you alright? I've been looking all over for you. I'm so sorry about before. She didn't respond, but she didn't have to. This is definitely Seiko. I can't see you very well. Come a little closer, please. Let me see your face. I drew in towards Seiko, who was sitting on the ground, and rested my head on her shoulder. Then I wrapped my arms around her. I still couldn't see her face. I thought it might be because of the dim lighting in the room. But no, that wasn't it. Something was very wrong here. Seiko wasn't moving an inch, and that's when I realized. Her skin was cold. Huh? She's dead? Wait, where was I? Was I at home, or was this heavenly host? The last time I remembered was frantically trying to find her again. I could smell incense from somewhere far off, and finally realized that this wasn't reality. What? Now arriving at Kishi Station. No, this person sitting perfectly still on the floor, not saying a word. This wasn't Seiko. So who was it? Oh God. Naomi. Within the unyielding darkness, I knew that whoever it was taking Seiko's shape was coming toward me. She's here. She's right next to me. I can feel her breath. I can sense her presence. Who are you? I'm her friend with the broken neck, remember? This is the future where you make me die. No! Why did you leave me by myself back there after we finally managed to get back together too? I was so worried that I'd hurt you, so worried, and that's why things turned out this way. No, don't say that! As I lay there, stricken with grief, I heard the footsteps of a child approach. I looked up and saw a little girl with a red dress standing over me.
Do you want to save your friend, no matter what it takes?
What are you?
I'm the one who controls the fate of this world.
I had no clue what she meant by that, but I remember that she'd been giving me advice this whole time. She had a different air about her than the other spirits from the school building. I felt like maybe she was on my side. I want to save her, please. If there's some way to do it, tell me how.
will give you another chance to remember. Think hard. What you've just seen are events from your past, which is also the future through which your spirit now passes. In other words, this isn't the first time you've experienced a sequence of events, but you already knew that, didn't you?
This sort of thing doesn't happen. It should have sounded like complete nonsense to me. But I didn't say a word. I just nodded. They were only fragments, but nonetheless I was seeing crystal clear visions of what I could only assume was my first time experiencing these events. That sense of deja vu I'd been feeling wasn't just some crazy delusion or misidentified nerve impulse in my brain. It was real.
Then you've also already seen the trigger event from which your despair originated. So now you fight against this fated demise.